One of my favorite things to do while I'm shopping at Dollar Tree is find items and figure out a way to repurpose them. So when I was in the Christmas aisle, I saw these wreaths, and you may look at these and think, okay, these aren't very substantial. They're not gonna make a great wreath, but I thought, what if we use these as charger plates underneath our holiday dinnerware? So that's what I'm gonna do with these. What you wanna do is with each of your wreaths, you wanna start by moving all of the greenery pieces to the outside. There's not that much greenery on here, so you're gonna need all that you can get. As I was doing this, I was noticing a lot of the wreaths were kind of bent up, so I pulled the circles out to make them as nice of a circle as possible. I did this with all 4 of the greenery wreaths. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of white spray paint. I wanted to give it that cool snow texture, so I'm gonna lightly spray on the outside with white spray paint. The key here is to not add too much spray paint because you want your greenery to still show through. Now, I thought I was gonna be able to get away with just that, but I wanted it to be a little bit more vibrant, look a little bit more like snow, so I did have some snow spray paint that I added in as well. But have fun with these, add whatever color you want. You could do silver or gold, depending on your decor style. And then I'll just place these underneath my holiday plates. Let me show you a quick wall art piece that you could do with these black frames. So you're gonna start with 3 of these black frames. You're also going to need to pick up some white ornaments that look similar but have a little bit of variation. Now I'm gonna start by spray painting the entire picture frame. I'm gonna spray paint the back as well as the front. You don't wanna take anything out. I'm gonna spray paint the back and the front with 2 coats of a matte white spray paint. Once those dry, I'm going to use my gold Rub and Buff. I feel like I'm using the Rub and Buff a lot in this video, so it's definitely one if you're gonna do these DIYs you're gonna wanna pick up. Again, I'll link it for you down below, but I'm gonna use the gold Rub and Buff to place around the corners. I also thought this would look great with like the black Rub and Buff, or if you don't have Rub and Buff, you could use any color of paint along the edges. Let that dry, and then you're gonna hot glue your ornaments in the middle. Now, I went with white ornaments. This would also be cute if you had like 3 like colorful ornaments. Go with, you know, reds, greens, whatever you're gonna use in your home, and just hot glue them about the same height on each of your frames. And they look so great sitting out in a grouping. You can put them on your shelf or hang them on your wall. Another new item that I picked up at Dollar Tree are these white lanterns. I got 3 of the white. I thought they were super cute. Now, I love the white. I thought about painting them, but I was like, snowflakes should be white, so I didn't want to paint them. I kept them white. I did want to kind of add to them, so one of the items I picked up was this candle holder. This is new in the floral section. If you guys see this one, pick it up. It's really cute. I did spray paint the candle holder with 2 coats of a black spray paint. And then another item I picked up in the Dollar Tree Plus section was this red velvet ribbon. Now, I went with the darker colored red because when I've been searching on high-end sites, this darker colored red seems to be on trend. So it's definitely a fun one to pick up and try this year. With one of my white lanterns, I'm going to tie a bow with the velvet ribbon. And one trick I like to do is keep my tails nice and long. Then I can come in at the end and trim everything down. On my 2 pieces on the side, I didn't want to add a bow. I thought maybe that would be too much. So what I decided to do instead was just tie off a piece and have 1 long tail. So I just tied it in a knot and kept 1 long tail on either side. I also added in some greenery sprigs that I had just to give a little bit of greenery to the lanterns. And then I'm gonna place the middle one on top of the candle holder. Then I trimmed everything up. So I trimmed the pieces at an angle on my bow. And then I also trimmed at an angle the pieces on the side and made sure the 2 side pieces were as even as possible. And here's how it looks styled in my decor. If you're having trouble finding some of the Christmas items out at Dollar Tree, I'm gonna show you how to make a Christmas item with just regular items from Dollar Tree. So what you're gonna need to pick up are 8 wood pieces that are a smaller size, and then I picked up one that's a little bit of a larger size. I'm gonna show you how to put together a large tree without using any screws. If you have a cutting mat, get it out at this point because that'll really help you with measuring out your pieces. So you're gonna start with one of your sides of your tree, and I wanna measure them out about 4 inches apart. So I'm just going to, every 4 inches, put a new piece on, and I'm gonna use wood glue to hold the pieces in place. And I'm gonna add 4 pieces to one side. So I'm gonna repeat that on my second side. I'm gonna make them the exact same size. Now, as you're doing this, you may have to use something to kind of hold everything in place. I had a bunch of paint bottles that I used to kind of hold it in place. Once you have them put together, put all of your paint bottles around there and hold everything in place and let it dry overnight. The next day, you're gonna come back and assemble your tree. So to do that, you're gonna put some hot glue at the top of your wood pieces and push the 2 tops together. Then you're gonna put some hot glue on the bottom, and then with that longer board, you're gonna place that as your base. Kind of move it around till you're happy with where it's situated, and then again, use paint or whatever you have to prop it up and let it dry overnight. That's all you have to do, and if you have any excess glue, you can always sand that off, but here's how this wood tree turned out. Last year I created this reindeer from a Dollar Tree reindeer that I sprayed black, and I added some gold rub and buff, but I couldn't resist doing it again this year. So I found these cute little penguins. They have them in white, gold, and silver, which are really cute as is, but if you want it to be black, you can just spray it with 2 coats of a matte black spray paint. I think it's best to spray the underside of the penguin and the top of the penguin just to make sure you get all the areas. Once that dries, you can add on rub and buff. I just wanted a little bit of gold rub and buff. I will link to rub and buff down below if you're needing any of it, but just use a foam brush and wipe it onto its nose and onto its feet and wings. These little figurines look so cute sitting out. I want to show you a way that you can add a little bit of flair to a wreath. Maybe you have a natural wreath and you want kind of a fun wreath hanger. So what you're going to need for this is some sort of ornaments. I'm going to be using these 2 snowflakes. I cut off half of one of my snowflakes, and then I'm going to hot glue them together. Then I spray painted this snowflake with 2 coats of a white spray paint. Now you're going to need some ribbon. I had this gold ribbon that I picked up. Wire ribbon works best if you can get wire ribbon. And I would say about 3 inches widthwise is the best. And I'm just gonna cut off a really long piece, and then I'll hot glue my ornament to this ribbon. Now to hang this up, I love hanging up a wreath using a clear command hook. I think that works really well. And you're gonna place your ribbon on your clear command hook so that your ornament is about maybe like 2 or 3 inches from the top. Then you're going to take your wreath and put it underneath your ribbon, and you're gonna tie it right underneath the ribbon. Do like a double knot. Then you can pull the ribbon down in the front. If you want the ribbon to be hanging long, you definitely can do that. Just cut it off a little bit lower, or if you want it short, you can do that as well. But I think this is a cute wreath hanger, and it definitely dresses up any wreath. Hey guys, I'm Liz, and you're watching my second DIY channel where I post daily DIY videos. You may be familiar with my main channel, Liz Fenwick DIY, but I'm glad that you found me over here on my second channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you just get notified every day when I post our daily DIY video.